Nat Turner, historical figure, is someone that I didn't learn about until later in my life. I grew up in Virginia, ironically 40 miles east of where Nat Turner's rebellion happened. I grew up in a time where we didn't have a lot of heroes. I come from well below the poverty line, so when you ask people about who they look up to, for us it was always athletes. And so when I learned about this in college, it was something that I gravitated toward. I felt like even before I became a filmmaker that this was something that I wanted to claim and apply to my life. When people asked me who I wanted to be like, I'd say Nat Turner. At some point you have to stand up and say, I'm gonna do what I wanna do, regardless of what the odds are. And so about 2 years ago, I stepped away from acting and said the next film I'm involved with will be The Birth of a Nation, and I will be playing Nat Turner. For the next year and a half, I just raised money and traveled all across the country begging. And as one director, a friend of mine calls it, kissed a lot of frogs and met a few princes. Hello, my name is Nate Parker, and I am the director of the film The Birth of a Nation, which is premiering in the U.S. Dramatic Competition at the 2016 Sundance Film Festival. D.W. Griffith, basically regarded as one of the most prolific and innovative filmmakers of all time, in 1915 created a film that was the most racist film, not only of its time, but to date, outside of Goebbels' films against the Poles in World War II. This film would have you believe, the original 1915, would have you believe that the birth of a nation, the true birth of this nation, the sustenance that kept this nation going was based on its justified fear of people of African descent. When this film made it to the theaters, KKK's enrollment rose to over 4 million. At the end of such screenings, they would take to the streets and they would lynch the black people that they saw. I kind of sold this project to investors and cast on legacy. I honestly believe this is a film that can start a conversation, that can promote healing and systemic change in our country. There's so many things that are happening right now in 2015, 100 years after the original Birth of a Nation film. Here we are. I'd say that is what I hope sets my film apart, is that it's relevant now, that people will talk about this film with the specific intention of change.